Peanut. Trump 2024. Welcome back to the Angry American. Angry Army, listen to me. This story will enrage you. It will enrage any animal lover. This one will blow your mind. New York Democrats just raided this dude's home for having a pet squirrel that he rescued. They stole the man's animal and killed it. Now, this is not just any squirrel. Check out this video. This is not just any squirrel. This thing was, he had it for 7.5 years. He rescued it. It was the cornerstone, the mascot of his animal rescue charity. The squirrel had like 1 million followers on Instagram. It was a big deal. They raided his house. Not only did they kill the squirrel, but they took, I guess he had a raccoon that was called Fred. They killed it too. And their excuse for killing it was that one of the officers was bit during the raid. They're raiding homes for squirrels. Forget all the crime and the crazy shit that goes on in New York City and state. We're worried about fucking squirrels. That's their priorities in New York, the Democrats. They're so freaking insane. Let's get right to the story. I've got a video for you right here. We're going to watch this video. I think it's from TMZ or something. Let's get right to this. I got to scroll down to it. Let's watch this video.
Euthanized Peanut. We just learned that they have euthanized Peanut.
And the raccoon as well.
And the raccoon as well. I am so sorry. This must be really difficult for you.
It not only tears my family apart, but Peanut was the cornerstone of our nonprofit animal rescue. And 10 to 12 DEC officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch.
10 to 12 DEC agents raided this dude's house for a fucking squirrel. Boy, you Democrats, you guys are completely backwards, upside down whacked.
I was sat there like a criminal after they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status.
Now they care about immigration status because they have a squirrel that they don't want them to have. Now all of a sudden immigration, they're going to check her immigration status. They don't check. Oh my God, they let billions of illegal migrants in. You guys are a sanctuary city, but you're going to question somebody. You don't even question about their citizenship when you arrest them. You don't care if they're an American citizen, if they have an ID, if they speak English. You don't give a shit about any of that. But if you have a squirrel, we will bring you down. It's insane.
Then proceeded to ask me if I had cameras in my house. Then proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny of my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
They got a search warrant?
They got a search warrant. 4 departments and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And then they took them and killed them.
Why did they go through all that to get a search warrant for an animal that had been with you very safely, and the world witnessed this for 7 years? Why now suddenly did they show up with a search warrant and take these animals?
We haven't a clue. We don't know who made the
I estimate, and this is only my guess, somebody found out he's a Trump supporter. I swear to God, that's my theory. That's the only explanation.
The complaints. Again, Peanut was an indoor squirrel, not harming anybody. He's been with us for 7 years. Not a single complaint was ever filed for this animal. We had him for 7.5 years. He became the world's most famous squirrel. We weren't hiding him by any means. He was all over TikTok. He became the first squirrel on TikTok to ever hit 1 million followers.
Oh, it was 1 million on TikTok.
Every news station around the world. He's helped people. He's helped kids gather joy. And then we started a nonprofit animal rescue called Peanut's Freedom Farm to help animals like Peanut fight a good fight when they're in a neglected case or they're sitting in a slaughter auction. and he was the cornerstone of our life and our organization. We used his platform to help raise money for the 300 animals we have at our sanctuary.
Mind-blowing. So he had over 1 million subscribers on TikTok and at least 500,000 on Instagram. Democrats' priorities are go after the guy with the squirrel. I'm telling you, I swear. My theory is that he either had a Trump sign in his yard or somebody knows he's a Trump supporter, and they went after him. Guns blazing. There's no other reason.
We just learned.
These guys are so ass backwards. Let's check out the crime stats in New York, and they're worried about a fucking squirrel. Okay? Kathy Hochul's shithole state. It's not a shithole state. It's a beautiful state ran by shitbags. That's what it is. So she's bragging that all these crime stats are down. But here's the data, despite what you're hearing from the fear mongers, and she's telling the story the other day, gun violence is down, blah, 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 blah. The 28 police departments covered just 4.3 million. And this is where she got the data. She gleaned the data from that. So they covered just 4.3 million, or 22% of the state's 20 million people. Notably, the report Hochul relied on doesn't cover a single county in New York City, all of which have Democratic district attorneys. So they left out New York City out of their crime stats, the place that is the linchpin for all the crime in the state. That's not included in their crime stats. The Democrats are such deceptive liars. It's all smoke and mirrors and bullshit with these idiots. They don't include New York City in their crime stats? Come on, man. That doesn't even make sense. So you might be asking yourself, what's the moral to this story? Well, the moral to the story is that Democrats are completely insane, and they will come after you for the most innocent of things. But they won't come after you for any serious crime. That investigation will be left open and never closed if it's a serious crime. Or illegal aliens or something like that. But they will drop the hammer on a squirrel. Trump 2024.
I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I love kids jumping on my lap.